Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're speaking about identity. And the reason I want to discuss this with you is because I see a crisis with identity in our society nowadays. I look at the world and I see people putting on personas, masks, these false images, trying to impress people, trying to seek people's gratification and appreciation. I see people working in unfulfilling jobs, living unfulfilling lifestyles. I see too many people whose inner light is dim, who are not letting their radiance shine forth and allow themselves to express themselves upon the world. And I think this needs to change. I can't stand seeing people not fulfilling their potential. One of the huge motivations for why I'm doing what I'm doing is because I want to see more people's light shine. I started this journey trying to get my own light to shine, to get my own radiance out there. Because those problems I've just described, they used to be my problems. I spent so long putting up this persona and this image to the world, and it was tiring, it was exhausting, and it made me unhappy and unfulfilled. And I don't want that fate for other people. So what I've done now is re-examined my life, started to make changes, started to tear down those barriers, throw away the masks, and let that inner light shine forth. And in this video, I want to help you achieve the same thing. In my upcoming book, The Last 60 Minutes, one of my key themes I talk about is identity. The importance of letting this inner light shine bright. And I have an ACE framework that allows you to do so. And today in this video, we're going to cover the C of that framework. We're going to talk about cultivation. How do we cultivate our identity? How do we build upon ourselves? Because you see, part of this journey of ours is tapping into our inner self and our best self. And part of the journey is also having the freedom and expression to create the circumstances that we want in our lives. We don't have to put up with the current state of affairs. If you're living a life that's unhealthy, unfulfilling, or unloving, you have the power to change that for yourself. And what I hope to cover in the 3 strategies in this video is a means to allow you to do so. A means to tap into your highest self, your best self, and create a new standard of living for yourself. So let's go into this. Let's look at strategy number 1. And this is creating your personal constitution. Some of our most important institutions, groups, movements in our world were built on the foundation of a constitution. The US founding fathers created the American Constitution. The UN has a foundation of the Declaration of Human Rights. Christianity is based on the word of the Bible. These constitutions provide a moral and ethical compass to the people who they represent. And this is what your personal constitution does for you. And the personal constitution can be written with just 2 pages. Now the first page is your value statement. And your value statement decrees the type of person you want to be. What qualities do you think define you? And what qualities would you like to define you? What is the type of person that you want to put out into the world? This is what you put on your value statement. So to create your value statement, you write down anywhere between 3 to 6 values that you feel most typify who you are and also typify who you want to be. That's very important. Then when you've got these values, these main values, you then work out what the sub-values that contribute to that. You see, we'll have a huge encompassing values such as love or courage or strength or wisdom, but there'll be sub-values that contribute to that main value of ours. And that's what I want you to write on this first page, this value statement. And this is just simply writing down those values, those main values, and then bullet pointing the sub-values beneath those main values. And that will all fit on a single one-page document. This is your value statement. It's the type of person that you want to be. It is a reminder and primer for that person, for that best self. Then what you do with this piece of paper, stick it somewhere where you're going to see it every single day. That could be your bedroom wall. It could be in front of your desk. It might even be on the fridge. It doesn't matter. Just anywhere where it's going to be seen and it's going to prime you for that day. So that's the first part of the personal constitution. Second part, second piece of paper, that one sheet, is your purposes statement. This is what you want to create in the world, what you want to do, what you want to become. What are the things that really drive you in life? What would you like to achieve? If you are lying on your deathbed, what do you want to look back on and say, you know what? I did that. I created that. I helped change that. Those are your purposes. Those are your main purposes. Again, pick anywhere between 3 and 6. Now, once again, these main purposes are going to have sub-purposes between them. If you have a big grand plan to change something, there's probably a set of smaller actions and outcomes that need to be achieved. These are your sub-purposes. And once again, you bullet point them below your main purpose. So there you have your other sheet of paper with your main purposes outlined and your sub-purposes bullet pointed beneath them. Then you get this purpose statement and you stick it alongside your value statement. And these two pieces of paper form your personal constitution. This is your reference point. This is your primer. Every day you look at your personal constitution and you prime the values of who you want to be and you prime the goals that you want to achieve. And then you go out into the world and express these values, work towards those goals. And that's the first part of cultivation, is creating that personal constitution. Second strategy is journaling. So what journaling does is allows you to have a constant reference point, constant reflection, analysis, awareness. Now, this is something that I would recommend doing at least weekly, and the greats in the industry, they're doing this daily. And this is something that I'm actually trying to step up in my life at the moment, is making this journaling habit daily. Constantly reflecting, analyzing, increasing the awareness of what's going on in your life, what's going on for you. So with this journal, you want to have some mode of reflection. You want to have certain questions that you ask yourself. Now, these questions are going to be personal to you. It will very much depend on what your values are and what your purposes are. But if you can work out, what do you want to achieve every day in your life? What do you want to be working towards in your life? What constitutes a successful week for you? For those of you who've watched some of my previous videos, you'll know for me that my 3 daily goals are learning, creation, and connection. And so I judge the success of each day based on those 3 criteria. So my reflection process looks at those things. I look at, what did I learn today? What can I take from the events of today? What did I create? What did I put out into the world? How can I continue to help and serve? And what connection did I have? What interactions did I have? What relationships did I deepen? Who was I able to reach today? And so my reflection process focuses on those things. For you, you'll have your own things that you want to reflect on. But just some general guidelines is each week, look at that learning process. How have you gotten better this week? What challenges did you face and overcome? What accomplishments did you have? What new relationships were you able to foster? And also look at what you want to improve and optimize in your life. Are there habits slipping in that you'd rather not have? Is there waste of time and productivity in the week? Are you not living to your authentic truth? Are you not being the self that you want to be in some domain of your life? And these things are okay, as long as we're aware of them, as long as we're aware that these things are happening, because this is all about working towards our best self. Like most things in life, this is a journey, not a destination. We're not going to find it and be perfect one day. We're always constantly striving and improving on this. But with the journaling exercise and the journaling habit, you can just become a little more aware of what's going on for you and get closer to where you want to be. So that's the second strategy. Now the third strategy, as I've touched upon already, is learning. Just learning in general. How are you learning and developing in life? Because the more that we learn, the better we're able to access the deepest, most authentic parts of us. The more we're able to grow and develop, to become a better person, to achieve more things, to give more to this world. Those list of purposes that you have, whatever they may be, you need some learning, growth and development to achieve those things. So how are you learning? What are you bringing into your life? Are you reading books? What types of books are you reading? Are you listening to podcasts? Those two forms of learning are, I think, the most powerful, and they're also so easy to do. Books are so cheap. Podcasts are free nowadays. There is a wealth of information out there if you know where to look and you're ready to digest and access it. Also, just generally, have an interest in the world around you. Pay attention to things. Ask people questions. Learn about them. Learn about what's going on around you. Have this constant curiosity and thirst to know more about life. Because as you find out more and more about life, as you take in more answers and more perspective, that allows you to enhance and grow yourself and your own perspective and start to work towards becoming that best self. Gives you more knowledge, more wisdom in order to become and create that best self for you. So guys, those are the 3 strategies of the cultivation part of my framework. It's a 3-part framework. It starts with awareness, then it moves on to cultivation, and then you look onto expression and how you really start to put those qualities forth into the world. And this is a framework that I discuss more in my upcoming book, The Last 60 Minutes. And for you guys, this is now available for pre-order. So just about now, there should be a little box appearing at the bottom of the screen. If you go ahead and click on that box, that will take you to a page where you'll be able to pre-order the book. And if you're watching a little bit further into the future, that book is already live. And you can get it now by clicking on that link. So guys, if you want to learn more about how to cultivate your identity, how to find and express that best self, then I think my book will be of service to you. And I hope that you'll buy it and you'll enjoy it and it will be able to serve you. So, just before we finish off, 3 quick things to cover. First of all, if you haven't already, I'd love it if you'd subscribe to the YouTube channel. Loads of free content, loads of free training coming out just like this one. Make sure you subscribe and then you won't miss a thing. Second of all, if you liked this particular video, if you found it valuable and useful, give it that thumbs up down there and share it with anyone who you feel might be struggling with their identity at the moment, who's struggling to bring their best self out and express it fully. Share it with someone who you think this information can really help. And finally, just a message to yourselves. Remember to love inwardly and shine outwardly. I'll be speaking to you soon. David.